Video games have come a long way since 1980, but not every aspect of their evolution has been for the better. By focusing on bloated presentation and needless story, they've lost a bit of their purity, that simple magic that once made them so compelling. Few games have as much of that magic intact as Pac-Man. Now, during their golden age, the best video games shared a few commonalities in their design. They had immediate appeal, most importantly, an instant gameplay hook that would grab the player in the first few seconds. In most cases, their gameplay was also easy to learn and ruthlessly difficult to master, which enhanced their already addictive nature. These are the values upon which Pac-Man operates. They're beautifully simple in concept, but in execution, they're anything but. The game's complexity defines Pac-Man, and an understanding of its patterns and behaviors is imperative to satiate the appetite of the game's circular yellow hero, let alone the quarter-guzzling machines in which he dines. Initially overshadowed by games like Space Invaders and Asteroids, Pac-Man was released to arcades in 1980, but it wasn't until the game debuted in America that Pac-Man really caught on. And thanks to the furor it raised here in the States, it became the best-selling arcade game of all time. And as was customary for successful arcade games, it wasn't long until Pac-Man munched his way onto the Nintendo Entertainment System. For many Pac-Man fans, this 1984 NES port was a veritable godsend. Prior to this release, console versions of Pac-Man had been downright abysmal. Specifically, the Atari 2600 version still occupies a special place within those musty hallways of gaming's greatest failures. In contrast, this NES release was like a packet of pellets from Pac-Man Paradise. In terms of both gameplay and appearance, this was the closest you could get to the arcade version without spending 25 cents a round. Now, if you've never played Pac-Man, find a copy, clear an evening on your schedule, and prepare for the purest form of gaming euphoria. Controlling a hungry hero named Pac-Man, you navigate a blue-walled maze haunted by 4 pesky poltergeists. Each level is also filled with 244 yellow pellets, and therein lies the objective. Eat every pellet on the board while avoiding the ghosts Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde. But like any true hero, Pac-Man isn't entirely helpless. 4 large Energizer pellets are scattered in each corner of the board, and eating one allows Pac-Man to turn the tides on his spectral nemesis. For a limited time, he can actually swallow the ghosts, an endeavor that eventually turns into a battle between risk and reward. In 1984, this was the ultimate console adaptation of Pac-Man. Well, sure, the sprites are a bit too big and they kind of extend into the walls of the maze, but otherwise, and especially in terms of gameplay, there wasn't a better version outside of the arcades. And even though countless versions of the game have been released for various platforms over the years, there's something about controlling Pac-Man with an NES controller that just feels right. He may have created his legacy in the arcades, but even on the NES, the timeless and limbless Pac-Man feels right at home.